Hello, my name is Sakmo Adorn. I'm going to be going over the characterization of friendships. Friendships are obviously something that most of us, if not all of us, have in our lives and affect our daily routines and our socialization. And this topic also matters because understanding how friendships work and how to build them, we can better strengthen our friendships and understand why they last and why they don't last and how they shape who we are. I'm also going to have my notes on the side so I don't get too sidetracked. And I apologize if I'm talking with my hands. I'll try my best to keep it at a minimum. So, explain the concept. Friendships are always voluntary. You can't force someone into a friendship. It doesn't really count as a friendship that way. That's more of just like kidnapping. The second thing is that friendship is also developed between peers. This is especially important because the tension between non peer friendship can be weird, especially in a working environment or things of that specific nature. Where there's a hierarchy, specifically, friendships will develop between peers, is how we see it. Also, friendships are typically platonic. I know in the textbooks we had talked about situationships and friends with benefits. However, for today, in the examples used today, we're going to be talking about platonic friendship. Although situationships, friends with benefits, they exist, but they come with different problems and different contingencies for them. And then friendship is governed by rules. They are unspoken rules, loyalty, honesty, respect, things like that, that help develop and strengthen a friendship throughout the course of his lifetime. And then friends also friendship can differ by sex. So men friendship can be different than a man woman friendship, or a woman to woman friendship can be different from a woman to man friendship, just due to societal barriers and then other things like that that kind of implement their way into our friendships and take different routes in changing how we interact within these friendships, sometimes without us even noticing. So, for my personal example, on my first deployment, my peer AJ and I were sent on a ship about a month early to clean up and have everything ready for when everyone else came. We didn't know each other, so essentially we found the living space. We got two beds near each other, and this was voluntary. And we decided that we were going to do this in order to keep each other accountable for getting up in time for work, keeping things clean, and generally just staying on top of our responsibility. So there we go, voluntary. And then also platonic. My friend AJ is a married straight man. I am a straight man. I was single at the time. Um, and that kind of allowed us to strengthen our friendship even more, having those things in common and having those relatable topics to talk about. There was also unspoken rules. So in our living area, we had to keep it clean, which somewhat an unspoken rule. There is rules on how clean you have to have it, but it was unspoken that we were going to clean after ourselves. And if there was ever any crossing of that line or breaking of those unspoken rules, is something that was easily fixed due to the strength of our friendship. And then another scenario or a case of example of this friendships being different by sex is that obviously my friendship with my female friends on the ship was handled differently because we're not in the same living space. I still got to see them, interact with them, but you don't get that same element of living together and really kind of learning who that person is. So to transfer it to another setting, meeting new people at school, a lot of the same things go into it. The friendships are still voluntary. You can be put into a group assignment, but realistically, you choose if you're their friend or not. The peers in school share a similar experience. For the most part, you're taking the same classes if your peers are in the same groups or you have the same interest. And then unspoken rules develop relatively quickly, where to sit, who's going to say hi to who's doing what in group projects. And these friends, maybe you're meeting for lunch. These rules grow as your friendship grow and will continue to as well. And then platonic friendships at school can also change how people interact with one another, just due to, again, the different societal standards that happen between men and women and what's expected of those interactions when they happen. So again, the conclusion of this is that the key characteristics of friendship are that it's voluntary, it's platonic, is rule based, is peer based, and they do differ by sex. And I hope that my experience on my deployment and transferring it to the school can help other people understand that as well.